And 2 seconds.
Cool.
The fucking Foo Fighters. People aren't going to hang around.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. We are kind of going live now. We're going to start the official podcast in a bit, but we thought we'd try something different and just have a laid back chat the first sort of 10-15 minutes and let the viewer count go up a bit. So hi, how you all doing? Let us know in the chat and we'll chat away for a wee bit more of a laid back, and then obviously when we get going we're going to be chatting about record points tally, as you can sort of see there, the St Mirren game and the Aberdeen game. So yeah, I'm going to put a wee thing up here to still say starting soon, although you will be able to see our pretty faces. I believe it's a duplicate one, and I'll make that smaller.
And that's what the people are paying for.
Yep. Bring that down to there. Perfect.
Do you think we'll ever get the hang of being on time?
No, never.
God, no.
Unless I get sacked and somebody else takes over. No, we'll never be on time.
So if we say we're going to do a pod, just come on about 10 minutes later, at least. Like the 10 minutes later, and you'll still be early.
Yeah.
And so we have to tell everybody that, oh yeah, the podcast starts at 1.
I don't know why the follower count isn't going up, because I know it is a lot higher than 77 now, but it's only saying 77. That's not right. We're a lot higher than that now.
Liam's gained me some respect for my top. It's like a retro cotton one. Kind of you get the long sleeve ones, like Hibs ones, the coppers. That's exactly what it is. Somebody looks knackered because he's been out walking.
And Reedy's asking if we're taking into a Rangers podcast at the end today. Yeah, who knows? Probably not.
How's he no banned?
So yeah, I mean the Twitch thing doesn't really show that well. Actually, I need to move this.
Is that somebody again?
Say that again.
Somebody said
I was going.
I didn't know you started.
Yeah.
That was dangerous.
Oops.
Sorry, I should be more organised and tell you that I'm going live. But yeah, I can, and I know the followers.
Oh, we appreciate that, Craig. Thanks very much, mate.
The followers thing is up to 90, so we're almost at 100. So 10 more to 100. So I don't know why it says 77. I tried to refresh it, but never worked. But we're getting close to 100. So thanks to everyone that sort of followed so far. Yeah, and you can also subscribe now if you've got Amazon Prime. Make sure you do that.
Free dub.
It doesn't cost you anything with Amazon Prime. You just need to link your Amazon Prime account to gaming. But let's have a look. Let's see what folk are saying in the chat before we kind of fully get started and get the viewer count up a wee bit. Interesting question about on this day. That actually ties in quite well. So we'll save your question for later, Douglas, about when we're talking about we're doing the record points tally. So that could tie in quite well. Yeah. See Liam in the chat. Look, Reedy as always. How you all doing? Lewis as well. Let's see if there's
I wonder if Craig's Tempest 4, Craig. If so, I'll give Tempest 4 a wee shout out. Boop, boop.
Yeah. But yeah. Hey, we got another subscriber.
Oh, Reedy, mate. Make him I'm on the fence how I feel about this boy. He sends my emotions all over the place. He's a bit like Hibs. Well, I think I love him, but I fucking hate him at the same time.
Why? Because he clips you speaking about how much you love Rangers.
I just need to watch what I'm doing when he's in the chat.
Thank you very much for subscribing. That means a lot. And yeah, like I say, if anyone's got Amazon Prime, you can do it for nothing. If you just want to pay, then that'd be amazing as well. But yeah, I'm going to work on the subscriber thing. It kind of comes up with a retro thing just now, but I'm going to come up with something where it's like Lee Griffiths celebrating or Frank Sozzi celebrating. I'm working on how to do that. So I don't know, customized ones. I tried Googling it and then realised I had notes to do for this podcast, so kind of put it on the back burner. I couldn't get it done for
you imagine how late we would have been. Imagine how late we would have
been busy doing that. But yeah. I can see somebody KRW0707 saying afternoon lads, afternoon to you. Good result last night, not the best of performance, but 3 points are the most important. Yeah. Okay, now have a chat about that, because I know we've talked about it in the past, but not the best performance, but we're getting the results, but performances need to improve. We'll be having a good chat about that as well. But yeah. Love you too, Dave.
I think Reedy's got more fans on this podcast than we do.
Yeah.
Love that.
Just like I say, those that are just joining us, we're just waiting for the viewers to get up before we fully get going. So we're just having a kind of laid back chat now. How you getting on, guys? Anyway, how are you guys getting on, Dave? I know we briefly spoke. You're struggling a bit with furlough life now.
Nah, just the last couple of days, been bored too. Like I've been alright because I'm like end of the day I'm still getting like paid 80%, and then I'm playing COD in that all day. But it's just started to get that way where it's getting a bit sluggish.
Yeah.
The weather's shit. It's dark. It's not like the first one where you couldn't fucking lie in the sun and But it just feels like the same thing happening every day. Everybody's like in the same boat, so it's brutal. And my body's in bits. What's getting said?
So I can see that Craig's saying, because like I said, I think because we've now got the subscriber thing up and running with Twitch, Craig's saying, Gav, can you leave the room and re-enter to the Shane McMahon theme music, please? Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, money, money. Aye.
Let's see.
Stuart, how are you getting on?
Yeah, doing well, mate. Thanks. Pretty busy start to the year at this end, so can't complain too much, despite being able to sit at 2 PM and do a podcast. So not too bad.
Yeah.
What you done today, Gav?
Well, I was planning on having quite a lazy day, and kind of maybe doing this later on, but I thought it'd be good to get it done. And then you messaged me about this whole getting affiliated on Twitch thing, so we had a Zoom call, myself and Dave, sort of setting this up this morning, and then said I should probably do the podcast this afternoon. Good opportunity. So yeah, we kind of done that, and then like I say, sort of been on the computer, kind of busy after ever since. Had a nice breakfast this morning though, and watched. Do you know it's ever watched that Dead Pixels show?
Oh, is that about the 3 people in a flat share playing online gaming? Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's just sort of like it's just sort of typical sort of E4 comedy. It's quite funny. So watched a couple episodes of that last night and a few episodes again this morning. But yeah, nice chilled out morning. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the viewer count's up a wee bit, so we're going to get started. If folk join us later, they can always put it back or just sort of catch up when it goes up as a full podcast. So I'm going to go on the Zoom and press record. Record this onto this computer and get Streamlabs back up. So I know. Okay, so we'll get started. Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
All right.
And Stuart. Guys, how you getting on?
Why do I never get to say all right to anybody?
I know, I keep on cutting you off. Stuart, join us today, and Stuart.
All right, guys. See, that makes me feel better. Thank you.
No problem at all. Sorry about that. But yeah.
A bit high maintenance, Stuart, isn't he?
He is. He always needs.
Just want to be loved.
Yeah.
How you getting on anyway, guys?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Doing all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Can't complain. Enjoying my week off, which is good. I've been a bit busier than I planned, but no, enjoying the week off. It's really good. So we're going to have a chat about this morning game last night, obviously. We're going to have a chat about Aberdeen on Saturday, and we're going to have a chat about, as you can sort of see there, the people that are watching live, records points. You know, we'll get in a bit more, but I believe after 27 games this season, we finished on our record points. We're on 47 points. We're now on 46 points after the same amount of games. We've got a decent run in, so we'll be having a chat about could we surpass that point total this season. But let's get started with the St Mirren game. Let's have a look. I'll get the match review image up here. Perfect, there it is. Stuart, know the most exciting first half?
No, definitely not. I think I've kind of described it as frantic but pointless. There just really wasn't much happening in the game as way of highlights. If anyone's been able to catch up on the Hibs TV highlights, I think the first thing they actually show is the sending off from 35-minute mark, which kind of almost lets you know everything about that first half, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And it goes straight into the second half after that, so it really wasn't a bit of a... I mean, Dave, you were kind of preparing dinner whilst watching it, and benefits of not being at the game. What was your kind of views in the first half?
No, I found myself looking away quite a lot, but that's just how I'm finding football now in general. Like, I struggle to sit down and stay concentrated for the 90 minutes. I'm like on my phone, I'm like doing other stuff. So I made dinner last night while I was watching the first half, and I kept turning around looking at it, and nothing much was happening. So I was quite thankful that I had something to do, but yeah.
Do you think we're almost getting too much football right now? Is there such a thing? Like every night, there's a possibility to watching 2 free top flight games from England or Scotland. Obviously, number one priority is always going to be Hibs, but even finishing our game at 6 o'clock last night, we had how many games to choose from in the English flight or watching Killie Celtic.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have thought last night. I was originally I thought the Hibs game was going to be later on, and Dave, you told me it was a 6 o'clock kickoff. So I thought,
thanks for that, Dave. I fell for that as well.
I was thinking, right, I said to Becca, we should sit down and watch a movie tonight, and I thought, right, okay, we'll watch a movie around about 5 o'clock, then then I'll go upstairs and watch the Hibs game in the spare room, and then when Dave said that, I says, right, okay, I'll watch the Hibs game, and then we'll watch a movie after that. But that means I can't watch the Man United game. I'm sure that'll not be great. Man United have been rubbish in the last few weeks, so I didn't watch the Man United game, and I watched the Hibs game, and I missed a cracking game there by the looks of things. But yeah, I watched the match of the day this morning with extended highlights, which was quite good. But anyway, let's get back to Hibs. The only highlight which Stuart sort of mentioned there in the first half was I originally thought it was a pass through, but watching the highlights back, I realised actually it's a St Mirren player that's played the ball back. Horrendous back pass. Boyle reads it well, picks it up, and is 1-1 with the keeper. Knocks it around the keeper really well. Gets taken down by the keeper. And the keeper gets sent off. Dave, was that red card?
Yeah, and that's the advantage of having Boyle in that position as well, rather than having him wing back, because he had the pace to cause that problem. The other around him, and he would have been enough in front of the defender to get that round the other side, 100%.
Aye, and I mean, the defender, the St Mirren defender, we can see him when we watch the replays. He's moaning as if to say, "Oh, I was there," but it's still a red card. He was behind the play, wasn't he?
It was definitely behind the play, and if Martin Boyle had successfully knocked it around the keeper, which he had, and then carried on, he wasn't going to catch him. I think what also maybe made up the rest mind for it. The keeper rushed out, paused, and then went in again, and he's showing a hell of a lot of stud there as well. It did kind of baffle me a bit that there was about 3 St Mirren players surrounding the ref, bemoaning the decision at the edge. Like, come on, guys, other end of the pitch. I'd have been putting my head in my hands thinking, Rocky, what are you up to? Or is that just football for you nowadays that these players have to make up for crowd noise instead?
Well, you seen it when we played St Johnstone, Rocky's red card. That was different because Rocky was the last man. So I can see why, because that Louis in the chats, Lewis Pearson saying in the chat that he doesn't think it was a red. So that's maybe why some people don't think, because it maybe is dubious whether that St Mirren player could have got it or no. It maybe is up for debate, but for me, the goalkeeper was too slow, and it is a red.
Yeah, I thought it was a red as well. And I mean, just after that, we did, I mean, it was only sort of other thing from that half. We did have a free kick straight after that. Boyle floats it into the box. It gets headed away. It bounces around a lot, and I think it falls to Paul McGinn, who kind of half hits a shot that skips across the ground. The goalkeeper collects. Stuart, would you have liked to seen Boyle or somebody else have a shot on goal? I mean, I know it was quite far out, but still, a goalkeeper that's played 2 games in 3 years coming on, surely should be testing him.
Yeah, we definitely need a Stevie Mallon for that type of position, let's be fair. But yeah, we probably should be testing a keeper. But then how many times have you seen someone coming off the bench or coming back from a long injury? They're sharp, they're on it because they know this is their opportunity. He's going to be in for the next game. There's no way that St Mirren obviously can appeal that decision. So it's kind of his place to lose again now. So I don't think he was at fault for anything much last night, but yeah, probably testing him from distance wouldn't have been the baddest idea coming in from the cold. Definitely wasn't the warmest night in Paisley last night, I'm led to believe.
And like I say, not much else to kind of talk about the first half, so I mean, we'll have a talk about the team selection, Dave. It was the same team. McGregor sort of kept his place, and it seems like Boyle is sort of playing more as a striker in recent games. Murphy with a bit of a free role, kind of drifting out to the left, but also sometimes going out to the right. Doidge up beside Boyle. What's your sort of thoughts on this new formation? Does it get the best out of those players? And what's your thoughts? Obviously, you mentioned the benefits of it earlier on, but the thought of Boyle playing more centrally the rest of the season.
It works if they're direct, in my opinion, with Boyle and Murphy. And they were hitting the byline a bit more. Murphy wasn't just in his usual cutting in. he was like, so that gives you another option. But I liked that they stuck with the same team. I think they needed to. Like, I wouldn't have liked if Nisbet had came in and, like, at the end of the day, we won against Dundee United pretty convincingly. Dundee United never done much, so they deserve just to stick with a winning team rather than just chopping and changing.
Yeah. Well, Stuart, your thoughts on Boyle through the middle? Oh, can't hear you, Stuart.
My apologies. Yeah, I still think we're going to be a little bit limited up front for the rest of the season. It does worry me if Nisbet or Doidge gets an injury. Where do we go from there? I thought we were shy a striker going into the transfer window, and yet we've let Gullen go. Now, whether Ross and his team sees Murphy or Boyle's a way of pushing up front, why not? We definitely reaped the benefits of that last night. Well, obviously got into the second half, but those two were a lot more positive in more forward positions. So what do I know, basically?
We went into half time. We were all sort of saying, while speaking like over Discord and stuff, we're watching the game, saying, you know, we're done a watch along. We were like, right, surely there should be some changes here. You know, I suggested taking off McGregor and putting on Nisbet and just going 3 at the back with Gogic sort of sitting in front of them, or maybe Gogic sort of dropping in but coming out, or maybe going to a back 4 and Gogic sitting in front of them. But instead it was McGregor coming off and Porteous coming on. A bit of a like for like. What was your sort of reactions to that, Dave, when you seen the sub made at half time?
I think when you're playing against 10 men, you could probably go for it a wee bit more, especially at 0-0. So doing a like for like sub, in hindsight, obviously worked, but yeah, I would have preferred a more attacking sub than. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I seen last night Man United took off Luke Shaw. Sorry, I've done that before. They done it so that they could just get somebody else that could, you know, get more people up the park. They got Martial on, they went more direct. I think there was maybe an opportunity to really punish St Mirren after going down to 10 men, but you know, like I say, we've got the results. That's the main thing. So let's have a chat about some of the chances. We've sort of been critical again after the St Johnstone game and after the Rangers game about Boyle being on set pieces, but we've scored from 2 corners that he's taken in the last 2 games in the last sort of 4 days. Obviously the one against Dundee United was more indirect. Ball floated in, bounced about. Irvin held it up, played it to McGregor, and we scored. This one a lot more direct. Great ball floated in. Porteous, great run, great header. Stuart, your thoughts on the goal?
Yeah, you know what? Great to see a good delivery from a set piece. Martin Boyle delivering for us there. Porteous knew exactly what he was doing, where he was aiming for. Not going to stop that. Also, good sub there by Jack Ross, and started the second half as we wanted to continue.
Dave, thoughts on the goal?
Aye, decent. I probably thought them the same as most people when Boyle went out to take it, that absolutely nothing was coming for it. And then it's very surprising when I went in, and then instantly felt daft because we had just slated Boyle's set pieces in the last podcast. So it's kind of that way you're like,
always been working on it. Maybe listen to the pod and he's been working on it. Hi Martin, if you're listening.
Who else can we slate and say that they didn't do enough, and then next game it'll happen?
So let's have a look. So we did sort of speak about making changes. They did sort of make changes about 10 minutes into the second half. Nisbet coming on, and it went 4-4-2. Boyle went out to the right, Murphy the left, and Gogic and Irvin in the middle. Nisbet and Doidge up top. And Boyle, it was great to see him get to the byline. Got to the byline, cross in, Doidge's header, and it was knocked over the bar by the keeper. Dave, great to see Boyle, like you mentioned earlier on, getting to the byline again and being a lot more confident, taking on a player. Something we've not seen enough of.
No, and that's why I think it must have been an instruction, because the two of them were doing it. But like, he's got the speed to take folk on and go to the byline. So like the last few games, he's maybe been stalling in front of defenders and letting defenders maybe give him a yard so that they can like keep on his toes. But it's been so much better. Like when he hits the byline, it's dangerous because he can cut in as well. So he can cut in, or he can obviously play the ball across. So.
Yeah, defenders struggle to keep up with him.
Yeah.
He can turn pretty quickly. he's just an absolute asset to have there, and it's been frustrating this season to not see him playing to that kind of strength. But last night we definitely seemed to have him and Murphy both running and hitting the byline. And guess what? That was causing St Mirren some worries and some issues.
And Stuart, I know you were quite critical of Doidge sort of when we were watching the highlights back. You know, you'd said he'd done well, but watching it back, you felt he maybe could have done better.
I think the ball was maybe slightly behind him, maybe mistimed his jump, but if he gets good contact on that, which he did, anywhere else, that's a goal. For a keeper, great save. A leaping save always makes a strike look better. But I think he could have hit the back of the net there. But Doidge did actually have a good game for me yesterday, so I'll give him a pass on that.
Yeah, great hold-up play quite a few times from Doidge overall. And that's the header there. We've done that one. And yeah, Dave, you spoke about Murphy being more direct as well, getting to the byline. He picked up the ball quite deep in the St Mirren half, went on a run, ran at the defender, and actually went out there around the outside, which was great to see. And before he could put it across, brought down. Did you think it was a penalty?
I thought it was very soft, but the fact that St Mirren didn't even really appeal obviously means there was something in it. The guy just pulls him back and just out the tiniest wee bit. But I agree with you. How good was it to see how deep he picked that ball up, and then just he had nothing in his mind but I'm running at this boy. He obviously backed him into the box and then took him to the outside. That's exactly what I want to see.
Stuart, your thoughts on
got to agree.
Murphy being more direct, and was it a penalty?
Yeah, great to see him being more direct. He is a bit one-footed sometimes. I think we can criticise him for that. But he went on the outside of the man. As Dave just said there, no appeal whatsoever from any St Mirren boys. It was a stupid decision from a defender, much like I said about the goalkeeper's red. If that was our team, we'd have been putting our heads in our hands saying, what on earth are you playing at there? And gave the referee a decision to make, and I think it was the correct one.
And then obviously Boyle took the penalty, scored the penalty, so a goal and assist from Boyle, and a lot more direct from him, so that's good to see. And then St Mirren hit us on the counter-attack. It was a sort of aimless sort of ball over to their left-hand side, our right-hand side. McGinn just gets beat for pace too easily. And then Dave, another chance, this one taken. We know it happened against St Johnstone in the Cup. It happened when Morelos missed it at the back post. And now another one where a striker's found himself in plenty of space at the back post. And this time Obika scores. Yeah,
we just got caught completely out of position. Like Porteous is not close enough, and you can see Porteous is actually bursting a gut to try and get back to cover Obika, which shouldn't be the case. He probably shouldn't be left in that much space at the start. But was Gogic booked last night?
Yeah, pretty late on though.
Was it late on? So he wasn't booked by that point, because he should have brought the boy down at the edge of the box, like when that attack was starting, like stopped it dead in its tracks there. That's the type of fouls that you see Pep Guardiola getting his team to make. They always do daft wee niggly fouls, stop an attack early doors before it even gets to the point of being a threat.
I think kind of Hibs did struggle with Obika coming on. Hanlon seemed to have his hands full for the remainder of the game, but you've also got to acknowledge what a brilliant ball up the wing that was, and how quick is that St Mirren boy? He was absolutely racing down the line.
A fast, good St Mirren player. I'm sure Hibs will be looking at him quite soon.
And at the end of the day, we quite like Obika, so we'll give you a pass on that one, mate, if you're listening.
And then, like I say, I think the only other chance was Murphy caught onto his right foot and got a shot off which hit the post. So great to see that, directness again. But I can see there was some criticism. A lot of people saying it's great to win, but we're winning ugly and things like that. A lot of things in the 3-word review like that. And I can see Andy Rogers, 1993, said, "Am I the only one that thinks it's very Craig Levein football? I think we do have players that can play better football, though." Dave, your thoughts on the kind of performance overall?
No, probably not good enough. It's nowhere what to be. That's not what you want to watch every week when you watch Hibs, is it? Let's be honest. First half was poor. Second half was better. But everybody keeps saying it's about getting results, so you get away with it if you win. But equally another, if we didn't break them down and we didn't get the win, then there's nothing. There's no like we can fall back on. Oh, but we're playing good football because we're not. We're extremely boring to watch, pretty much every week. So
yeah, the 3 points definitely masked quite a lot of the performance last night, and I'm almost fed up of phoning my dad at full time to kind of talk about the match, things like that, and using the words, "Well, it was hardly a classic," or "Oh, it wasn't exactly one for the ages." I think I've said that far too many times. And all right, I'm not expecting too much from a midweek game in Paisley, but against 10 men, some of the subs did make you kind of wonder. And I think St Mirren TV alluded to it last night to say quite negative from Hibs. They were keeping a back four and Gogic in the midfield against 10 men. We're trying to get Scott Allen back into fitness. That'd have been the absolutely perfect game to get him on the pitch, slipping the kind of balls that we know he can do to Murphy and Boyle. We easily could have seen that last night. We're having a different conversation now.
Yeah, I completely agree. My only worry would be it's great to see that we're winning. There's been a lot of games like this season where we've won, and that's encouraging. But we haven't got results against the better teams this season, against better defences. I don't think we're creating enough clear-cut chances. Last night we scored from a set piece and a penalty. I think we need to be creating better chances if we're going to then continue to create chances against better defences. We need to be more creative against better teams. I don't think that's a coincidence that we've, had games where we've won 1-0, we've grounded it out, it's ugly but we win stuff, and then we struggle against the better teams, the better defences. We need to be more creative and take more chances maybe, and it was great to see elements of that last night. I know Boyle was getting more to the byline, more Murphy being more direct, Murphy going the outside as well as cutting inside. He seems to enjoy when that free roll, although I think there's maybe an option for Scott Allen to play that free roll as well, with Boyle and Nisbet in front of him, or Doidge and Nisbet. So it's good that there is still options, and hopefully more things will come. But so yeah, just sort of overall thoughts on the game then, guys, before we move on to the talking point for this week.
Probably just enough done in it. Like, get the win and get out. At the end of the day, St Mirren, it's fucking St Mirren at the end of the day. But like, they won at Parkhead to hammer Dundee United. We were in a bit of form. We should never be concerned about that though. If we want to finish third in the league, like realistically, every single time we beat play St Mirren, we should be winning. But if you take playing, then yeah, good result considering we never played that well.
I think Goodwin. Yeah, so I think Goodwin's got to take a lot of praise for how he's got St Mirren playing. Their home form or home record isn't exactly brilliant, but they definitely have got the legs, they've got the strength, and they've got the character. So I think we should be really happy with the 3 points last night. Performance-wise, C+, B-. Give it that.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. There needs to be more from the performance, but at the end of the day, we're winning, and it's given us a platform to build upon. So hopefully that's what's sort of more coming long term. And I think that's the thing. That's when we've seen us not get results a few weeks ago, the Livingston, the Ross County game. You've seen a lot of people on social media go, "Oh well, if we're losing games and the performances aren't good enough, what's the point?" So then, yeah, it's great if you're winning, but as soon as you don't win, that quickly twists. So I think we need to add some good football to it, and it's I know it's not everyone's opinion, but to me, we're only going to win cups every now and then. We're never going to win the league. So where's the enjoyment coming from being a Hibs fan? To me, it's watching entertaining, exciting football. I know of maybe green tinted glasses some of the performances in the past, or some of the teams in the past, but I think that's what it's, as long as it's exciting to go watch Hibs. And I think if we were there every week in we'd maybe be getting a bit frustrated. But you know what? We get the 3 points. That's the main thing, and it's something to build upon.
I don't think the pay at the gate numbers would be great right now, if in normal times. Let's be fair.
Yeah. So, but like I say, we are getting the points, and that kind of leads us on to our discussion for this week, which I should be able to get up here if I turn off that. So, are we potentially heading for a records points? So the reason this sort of conversations came up because after 27 games that we've played, is that right? Yeah, 27 games. We were on 47 points under Neil Lennon. We're now on 46 points. So, and like I say, in the running that the Lennon team had before the split, they had quite a rough couple of games. Rangers, Aberdeen, Hearts. We don't really have the Old Firm. We've only obviously got Aberdeen on Saturday, but we've got a decent run in. So the question is, could we potentially surpass that point total? So, I mean, Dave, what's your kind of memories of that 17-18 season?
I remember it actually being quite entertaining. So you didn't really know how many we were going to score or concede. We weren't solid at the back at all, but we were quite fluid going forward. And then was that no this season of 5 each?
Yeah, that was the final game of the season.
5-3 was a game before that, Easter Road as well. Because come on,
the Kelly one.
Yeah.
5-3, yeah.
So, I mean, that was brilliant. That was good fun. So, if we do break our records points, fine. But there you see it. Like Lennon done it whilst it was entertaining. Do you know what I mean? I know we didn't think much of Neil Lennon now, but at the time it was entertaining and we got somewhere with it. So now we're nearly there, but it's boring.
Stuart, your kind of memories of that season?
Yeah, very, very similar to Dave. You were actually bursting. You couldn't wait to go back to Easter Road or tune in for the next game for their disputed end. Will we ever know whatever happened? It'll probably be up there with did Nisbet actually hand in a transfer request. But we just to get away from him. I've got a buddy who worked at Hibs at the time, and he always kind of said to me, yeah, when things were going great, it was a great place to be, but when things weren't going great, stay the hell out of his way. And that's not a great atmosphere. So however much things were going right on the pitch, they were always kind of on a bit of a knife edge, and that's what we saw. That next season came along and things went wrong. Should that damage how we view 17-18? Yes and no. We should have been able to build and grow on that one, but because things were going well, and that top six split as well, we ended up, didn't we draw 0-0 with Aberdeen, missed McLaren penalty, lost to Hearts at Tynecastle. Obviously the 5-0 was something else that none of us will ever forget. I can't remember the Celtic score from that top.
I did have it here. I'll need to get it back up just now. Yeah, like I know we beat Celtic 2-0 at home in the after the split.
That's right, yeah, because they left their Champions Board in Easter Road and left. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the game, yeah.
I think something goes well for Hibs though, and then what we do is we live off it for a couple of seasons rather than progress with it. So we hit the record points total, or like we win the Scottish Cup, and then it's like it's fine. We won the Scottish Cup 5 years ago, and like, are we going to get better, or are we just going to keep remembering about that? Do you know what I mean? I think we've got a bit of that in our locker.
Yeah. It was 3 years ago today, 2018, 3rd of February, we beat Rangers 2-1 at Ibrox. I mean, it's a bit of a strange team. I think Bartley played right back that day, I think. Porteous and Ambrose at centre back, Stevenson at left back, Boyle, Allen, McGinn, McGeoch, Barker, and then Canberry up top. And like I say, we won. Obviously, McLaren came off the bench and scored the winner. So yeah, like I say, there's we after sort of winning that game, we kind of went on a mixed run, but some great results, especially after the split and things like that. And then we finished on our record points total. But obviously, looking at Hibs this season, we're now on 46 points. I mean, Dave, we have been, although we've been critical of performances, there's been a lot of games where we've been getting the results.
Yeah, and this is where the get Jack Ross out argument that came after the St Johnstone game kind of falls a wee bit flat in its face, because if we're in this position, then can it really be justified? Nah, not really. Like, you hear that cliche, football is a results business. At the end of the day, we're getting the results, aren't we? Mm-hmm. It does need to be better against the teams in and around us, 100% against the teams ahead of us. Even though, when you think about it, he actually got a bad record this season against Rangers and Celtic with 2 points off both of them. But against Aberdeen, we've been poor. It's like, and then Hearts, like, fucking hell. But it's like, thank God they're this season. But apart from that, I think it would have been harsh to Den and William. We probably did give him too much a harsh time, but the whole team needed stick, I think, after the semi-final.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. with that. Yeah, league position's great. I think what also is not helping us are these strange, unprecedented times. We're not there. We're not there to enjoy it. So, however much it seems to be taking up less of our lives, it's almost taking up more of our lives at the same time for it. For those who don't know, I do live down south. I'm always able to kind of watch games, things like that. But I would regularly make business trips up to be able to kind of go see Hibs, go to an away game. It's amazing how many of my clients know to just kind of look at the Hibs fixtures to see if I'm going to be about or not, which is fantastic. But that's something we've definitely been missing. So are we kind of venting this anger as something that Hibs have got no control of? We're already starting to see people posting on some of the forums to say, I'm not renewing my season ticket unless Hibs can guarantee me getting in. Well, newsflash, folk, this isn't Hibs' decision. They've not banned all the fans from the stadium out of spite. We just kind of need to kind of roll with the punches with this, and then as soon as we're allowed people in, we'll be welcome back, I'm sure.
Yeah. Aye. I think I have seen some people say, has fans not been in played a part in some of the performances this season? I know that's been an argument people have had. I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, you still need to be creating chances. You still need to be playing football. So yeah. But I mean, let's have a look. Obviously, the split is coming up soon. We've got the run in here of the games that we've got. So I'll quickly run through these and then get your guys' opinions on how many points we could aim for. Obviously, starting Aberdeen at home, a team that we need to get a result against this season, as Dave sort of said there. Ross County away, Hamilton at home, Motherwell at home, St Johnstone away, and Livingston away. With the exception of obviously Livingston are doing very well and turned it round, and Aberdeen, who is maybe a good time to play them because they're not in form. That's a decent running, Stuart, isn't it, between now and the split?
It's really not bad, yeah. As you said, avoiding the Old Firm away to Livy might help us. I'm not quite sure. But looking at Aberdeen at the weekend, the two previous games against them, okay, 2 losses. They've kind of turned into the hearts of the league right now. But those games came down to individual errors on it. The 1-0 penalty issue with Gogic with his false positive COVID test, he'd have made a difference that day. Martin Boyle getting caught short to give away the penalty, and that was it. The 2-0 game up in Aberdeen, we kind of just gifted them 2 goals within the space of the first, was it 12 minutes or something like that? And that was it, game over. I think we're a lot more disciplined than that now. Certainly having Darren McGregor at the heart of the defence again will make a difference on that. And you know what? Yeah, Aberdeen have almost kind of sold the family farm. They've got rid of a lot of good quality players, and kind of remains to be seen if they've replaced well.
Yeah, obviously we'll kind of come back to Aberdeen a bit more in a second, like I say with the preview. But no, it's fine.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's fine. No trouble at all. Like I say, the 6 games there, Dave. 18 points for grabs. I'll get a total from you in a moment. But how are you feeling about those games when you hear them read out? Like, so I'll run through them again quickly. Aberdeen at home, Ross County away, Hamilton at home, Motherwell at home, St Johnstone away, Livingston away. How are you feeling when you hear those sort of games run out and considering our results so far this season?
Well, there's a few teams that in that list, to be fair, we're saying it's an easier or a good run in. St Johnstone have handed us our arses to us, so's Livy, Ross County, Aberdeen. Motherwell have got a new manager and performing a bit better. Hamilton are just weird. Like, some weeks they're half decent, some weeks they're shite. So, yeah, on paper should be, but with Hibs' record against the teams this season, it'll not be as plain sailing as we think, but there's definitely an opportunity there.
We are coming into the time of year where Hamilton seem to wake up and rescue themselves as well. So that's always exciting if you're one of those supporters, all 4 of them.
So let's get a total from you.
Let's play. Right, go through them.
Right, okay.
Okay.
We'll go Aberdeen and then go Dave, Stuart, what do you think? And we'll go draw.
Okay. Aberdeen at home.
After you, Dave. I'm going 3 points. Hibs win.
Nah, draw.
Okay, so I want you to keep your total and add them up.
Can I add up? Right, go.
I've got my pen, Gav. I'm all
Right.
ready, sir.
You're right down 1 point for me then.
Oh, for
Stuart.
fuck's sake. Yeah, I mean, of course Dave will do that.
Oh,
No, so
you're
I'm writing
doing
them down,
Dave as well.
don't worry.
All right, okay, that's great. Thanks. So Ross County
Yeah.
away.
Get the chats to play along to, so they can say
Yeah,
3
get
points.
in the chat. Say how many points you'll get from each game and add it up.
3-1.
Ross County away.
I'm saying 3 points. And Dave, did you say 3 points as well?
I said 3 points for this.
Grand.
Hamilton at home.
3 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3 points.
Stuart's
This is
got,
mental. Yeah.
Stuart's got us at 9 points.
Motherwell at home.
3 points.
And I'm going to say 1 now.
St Johnstone away. An opportunity for revenge for the semi-final.
I'm saying 1 point.
1 point. Probably 0 points. I hate playing St Johnson. But
And
I'll say
Livingston away.
0.
No, I'm going to say 3. I think their bubble will burst by then.
So adding it up, Stuart, how many points have you got us? You two got us getting?
Well, Dave's got a very unrealistic 11, and I've got a quite accurate 14. So there you go.
14 to 18. I tell you what, I'd take that. Maybe not the way you put it out, but I'd that split. We were on 58 points going into the split. So if we were to get 14 points, we would be on 60 points, so 2 points better off than that. Dave, you had 11, so a point behind that still, a point behind the record-breaking season going into the split. So I mean, it is on if we can continue to keep this sort of, if we can get back on track and keep the last kind of couple of games form going.
I must say the chat seems to be pretty positive.
Yeah.
For talking about points against Aberdeen and points totals as well. 13 points, 12 points coming up here as well. Liam, bless you, 18 out of 18. Love to see that, mate. Andy Rogers, 1 point against Motherwell, 0 against St Johnstone, and 3 away against Livy. So, yeah, we all seem to be dancing round about the positive side of the totals.
Yeah, I can see, looking on Facebook as well. It's actually saying Hibs Talk, so I can see Callum's logged in on the Hibs Talk account. So it's saying he's got a few of us getting 3 against Aberdeen, 3 against County, 3 against Hamilton, a loss to Motherwell at home, a point away at St Mirren, a point away at Livy. So like I said, and like I say, seen the Twitch chat as well. There's a lot of sort of positivity as well there. Liam McLennan saying 18 out of 18, Reedy saying 15. Yeah, so. I think there is an opportunity to kind of look at this and say maybe we can beat the record points. And it's crazy to think, I like I say, I have been critical of the performances, but at the end of the day, I don't understand why people are saying Jack Ross out when we're kind of potentially going for a record-breaking season in terms of points. So
He does seem to keep highlighting, performances need to be better, we need to show more and things like that. It's great to hear it, Jack, and I'm still edging on the side. I seem to bang this drum every time I'm on the podcast, saying we're still only kind of the first kind of 15 months into his tenure, and we've had kind of 3 or 4 of those off from COVID. So kind of giving the guy some time. Winning ugly is great, but let him come in, let him get the right personnel in. I don't doubt that we maybe missed out on 1 or 2 of the right personnel on the transfer deadline day, but I think so many of us have said online it makes a difference from, an exciting signing that none of us have ever heard of that turns out to be complete dross. It makes a difference. Let's kind of hold the pot back a little bit for a summer window.
So yeah, let us know if you think we're going to beat that 67 points mark. Let us know in the chat, or if you're listening to the podcast, let us know on the social medias or on the forums at HFC Talk. But so yeah, 46 points at the moment, 11 games to go, 67 points is the tally to beat. And obviously, if we do reach that, it would put us in a fantastic position for challenging for third and for Europe. Because I don't see Aberdeen getting 67 points. They've been a bit inconsistent. So I think if we could get to that, it would put us in a great spot for 1, Europe, and 2, third in the league. So speaking of Aberdeen, obviously our biggest rivals for...
So before we move on, Gav, I just want to acknowledge Liam on the chat saying Stuart looks like one of the Spice Girls with his headset, which obviously I disagree with. I was going for more of a Bewitched thing because I'm wearing my jeans in the house.
Bewitched were much better than Spice Girls, let's be honest.
Exactly. But thanks for that, Liam. Good feedback.
So Aberdeen on Saturday, Flo's return, of course, to Easter Road. Wasn't in the team last night, but is apparently going to make his debut against us on Saturday. I know, Dave, you spoke about on Monday's show. Stuart, your thoughts on Canberra signing for Aberdeen?
Bit of a surprising one. As to hit the ground running. Never really performed at Rangers. Debatable whether he was given much of a chance, but seemed to have kind of floated about recently. And with kind of, I'm going to say this reservedly, but known attitude issues. Is it just us looking as Hibs fans saying he's got an attitude problem, he's not in the right frame of mind or whatever else like that? I'm surprised McInnes took him on. To be honest, will he fit into Aberdeen's system? Because the amount of times kind of high balls and things like that were played to Flo and just was an absolute waste of time. They're not exactly known for playing the ball on the deck, especially losing Wright to Rangers. I think Aberdeen have lost quite a lot of their creativity.
Yeah, right away to Rangers. Hedges went off with an injury. I've not done any checking. If anybody can let me know how serious that's going to be. So, but Dave, your thoughts on Aberdeen so far this season?
I'm a wee bit annoyed Hedges were off with an injury, mate. I did not know that, and he's in my fantasy football team. So you've just put a headache straight onto my plate. Aberdeen have been Aberdeen, aren't they? I don't think they've been that impressive, but they're still picking up results. They're still thereabouts. They're used to it, aren't they? But their fans are starting to get a bit bored of McInnes football as well. And obviously that's the type of football we're playing now. So
they've had 8 years of it though. We've only had about 15 months.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how I couldn't watch Hibs if it were as boring as they have been for that long. Like, I don't care if you're getting to finals and no winning them. Like, you've not exactly got much to show for it. You get about 2 games in Europe or something, and then they're out.
Well, their season ticket numbers have drastically dropped kind of every season. Obviously not including this one with everything that's happening. But it just kind of shows, finishing second, third, fourth kind of isn't enough. You do have to be entertained when you go to the football.
Definitely, mate.
Or go to the cinema.
But like you were saying though, Gav, Flo, like fucking, it's an absolute certainty. Like, he'll have a good game. I thought he was all right when he went to Rangers, to be fair. He came off the bench. I remember I'm coming off the bench at St Johnstone and done really well. And like the fans quite liked him. They were taking a wee shine into him, probably because of his comments. I definitely think that helped him, but I thought he'd done all right. And I actually think he is an all right player.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll start well, and it's fucking an absolute certainty that he'll put in a blinder to a performance. Just whether we can contain him or not.
Yeah. Aberdeen, like I mentioned earlier on, potentially a good time to play them. I know Stuart done a big Aberdeen preview a minute ago, but we'll kind of go over some of it again. But yeah, looking at their recent form, I mean, the last sort of 5 games, they got beat off Ross County 4-1. They beat Motherwell 2-0 at home, drew 0-0 with St Johnstone, drew 0-0 with Livingston, and got beat 2-0 off Livingston. Looking back in the league, the last away win was the 20th of December, and they've played quite a few games since then. So struggling on the road, not many wins in the last few games. Dave, good time to play Aberdeen?
Should be. They're no in the best run of form. Neither were we until the last couple of games. So, but definitely a good time to play them if their confidence is going to be lower. They just seem to have something over us though, where they can just get results. But that's what we need to get past mentally. And that's what Jack Ross needs to get past mentally, get a result against them. But it's massive. It could literally define what's going to happen the rest of our season, this game on Saturday.
Stuart, we've seen Porteous come off the bench yesterday, Nisbet come off the bench yesterday. We've seen the starting lineup being the same one as Dundee United. Do we go with the same lineup, or do we start with maybe more close to the team that finished, or how do you see it going?
I don't like changing a winning formula. Whether Porteous is kind of back to where he should be, I could almost be tempted to drop Hanlon again for it. But I would love to. This is exactly the kind of game we need Scott Allen for. We're going to need some creativity. We're going to have to take a couple of chances. Aberdeen, apart from any game against Celtic or that Ross County game, they don't ship a lot of goals. We're going to have to be a little bit kind of clear and dry on this one. So we need something creative. I would almost be tempted to give Jackson Irvine a break. He's coming, he's hit the ground running, but he must be feeling it. From bringing him into that St Johnstone semi-final, he's played 3 games in the space of 6 days, a couple of days rest, and then back for it on Saturday. Maybe have him coming off the bench instead.
Dave, could you see us changing it to fit Scott Allen? And if so, I mean, I was trying to look for the question here. I know somebody asked it earlier on. Where does Scott Allen fit into this team?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. What if Joe Newell's coming back in as well? Like, I don't know. I think he got injured again, but if him and Newell were to come back in, it's probably quite difficult. But I think, would I drop Jackson Irvine? I don't know if I would, see, because he's only in Wales for 6 months. I think get him out there and get him playing. Like, I'm not going to get to see him much in that, and he has been decent. He's an aerial threat. Aberdeen are quite like a big team, so.
Yeah, I think the game at Easter Road, we seen quite a bit of that. Aberdeen kind of bossing us in the midfield. McCrory, one of them. So I think I'm obviously Gogic wasn't playing that game, so I think Gogic and Irvine, obviously it's a completely different midfield, will help with that physical battle. So that, to me, those two have got to start. But I would have somebody else in beside them, whether that be McGuinness or Allen. I don't know.
I'd probably rather go with McGuinness or Newell if Newell's fit rather than Scott Allen. I know what Stuart's saying, but is he going to be fit enough to start for the start? I don't know. But then do you bring him on, get him playing well, maybe establish a wee bit of lead and then shore up a wee bit rather than bringing him on when we're chasing the game? I don't know. I don't know what's better.
Yeah, we've had quite a few people on the chat talking about Newell. Will he re-sign? Where is he? Where does he fit into the team? Yeah, and again, it kind of shows what a difference he's been this season for us. That we've had a couple of people mention him. We've definitely missed him. I believe he did take another knock in training this week. Whether he's back for Saturday, which almost seems to be the new old tagline. Do we risk him? Do we? Is he re-signing? I think it's a big question.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry. Like we've said that before in the pod about the fact that, you know, our midfield at the moment, Jackson Irvine, Newell, probably 2 starters if fully fit, could be gone next season. So you want to build a team around your midfield, and we're potentially building a team around players that might not be there next season. So that's a bit of a worry. And also the fact that he keeps having these niggly injuries, which is annoying. I know he was been on Hibs TV and he was like, "Oh, I'm back for the weekend," and then he wasn't back, and then he was on Hibs TV and he said, "Oh, I'm back for the next game," and then he got another injury. And then he missed the Dundee United game and the St Mirren game. So hopefully he's back. But we'll see what kind of happens there and how he fits in. So, I mean, you've obviously sort of said whether you think we're going to win or not. So what's your score predictions for the game?
1 each.
2-0 to the High Bees.
But Camberry's going to score.
I did say that, yeah. It'll be chalked off. Wrong decision. There you go.
I hope that would be brilliant, man. If that rat was unhappy, imagine he gets a goal with the line or something, but like probably about that, and they were like, "Nah," and he's fucking raging. I'd take that. I'd take that and a draw.
I'll go for 2-1 Hibs. I think this is a game we need to win. We need to make a statement. No, you know what? I'm going to go for 3-1 Hibs. We're going to make a proper statement. Aberdeen have been rubbish recently. We're going to make them. They're still going to be rubbish on Saturday. Flo's not going to make that much of a difference, but he will score. So 3-1 Hibs.
You're deluded, Gav.
Maybe I am. And maybe that's the problem, because I get annoyed watching the games, because maybe I set up these high expectations and then we never achieve them, and then it's my fault. I should go in with low expectations. It's my fault. I'm the problem.
Yeah,
not the style of football. It's me. So yeah. So let's finish up with your guys' questions. I just changed the thing here. So we've got a few to get through. I know we were talking about the game earlier on last. We beat Rangers 2-1 at Ibrox. Like I said, that was 3 years ago today. I can't believe that's 3 years ago. Christ. Yeah. So an interesting question about that. Alan, McGinn and McGeoch. Obviously McGinn was brilliant. Do you think there's any players in that team that would get into the team right now, and vice versa? Do you think there's anybody in the current team that would get into that team? I mean, Bartley played right back, so I'll automatically I'm putting Paul McGinn in.
I know I said I'd drop him, but I think McGuinness would get into. Sorry, not McGuinness. I'm talking absolute nonsense.
McGuinness can't even get into this team.
Yeah. Sorry, I was doing a gav there. I was saying completely the wrong name, confusing myself. No, I think Jackson Irvine would get into that team.
Who was up top? Flo and McLaren?
Flo on his own. McLaren came off the bench. So I'd start Nisbet ahead of Flo.
Yeah.
Or was Flo better playing it as a lone striker?
He was better up top on his own. We've seen Nisbet's not been as effective one up top.
But to me, I think he's not effective because of the style of football we play. I've said that before. I think if we were to play football like we did then, Nisbet would benefit as a lone striker. A lot more balls on the ground.
Nisbet will benefit when Scott Allen's starting.
Yeah. 100% agree. So we've got Reedy saying, we're turning to the Rangers podcast today after Dave's going for 55 and his Rangers are a bigger team than Hibs statements on Monday's show. Let's have a look here. Some more questions from. I should have looked these more up. We need to get people modding to kind of help me keep on top of these. A lot of good chatting in here. Just looking for the question. Get more questions in just now. We mentioned that one about the Levine football. We talked about that earlier on. Who did I sort of talking about Scott Allen? We spoke about that one as well. Sorry, I'm just sort of catching up on the chat here. I'll edit this down in the podcast rather than sort of going for the questions. I've got some. Have you got any there, Stuart?
Yeah, quite a good one actually from KRW7070. Can I ask a question? I'm a season ticket holder this season. Do you think the club will honour the season tickets for next season? Because let's face it, we ain't getting back into the grounds until next season. I see some clubs are already agreeing to do this. It's a fair question. Personally, I can't see the club being able to honour it financially. I think they will do something to thank the fans who kind of back the team for a season without being able to get there. But financially, I can't see them being able to. And at the end of the day, we'd only really be hurting ourselves. Whether they make funds available, like they did with regards to the refunds for games from the previous season, and say, if you are able to not take the funds, we would thank you, but if not, we're not going to hold it against you. I think that's maybe a fair way to go as well, or allow people to roll it over.
Yeah, I think there's no chance that. I think they'll just season ticket campaign will start and then that'll be it. They might try and do something. I think kind of what you're saying financially probably doesn't make much sense. I think I seen Motherwell say that at the start of the season, that any games they didn't get into this season would go over to next season, but they're Motherwell are knocking it out of the park. You know, their social media, their community stuff, like just the way they treat the fans and everything is like the model that I think everybody should aspire to be like.
Yeah,
very good, very good. And then that stand with the awareness thing, like they just seem to do.
Yeah, that is good.
Well. Yeah. They hear their sleepovers on the pitches at night and that for good causes.
Like I say, I've said before, I know the Hibs media team do have a lot of people furloughed at the moment and did have a lot planned. I know they were setting up a specific room for the HTC, which has been completely put on the back burner. So I think post-COVID, we will see a lot more to get excited about on the socials and the Hibs TV and the YouTube channels and stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of that's been put on the back burner, unfortunately, due to COVID. But no, I have to agree with you, though. A lot of good work from Motherwell. Completely agree. So a question here from John saying about the state of the current Easter Road pitch, saying, you know, could it cost us points between now and the end of the season if it doesn't get improved? Dave?
I don't think it'll stop handling Denny's diagonal, so I think it'll be fine.
But I mean, according to Jack Ross, that's the only reason we're playing that way.
Is it?
because of
I've
the pitch.
seen I've seen him doing it on artificial grass, which is
I know, aye.
bowling green,
I
so I'm
completely. It's bollocks, but that's what Jack
Yeah.
Ross said. I'm just reporting what Jack
falling-
Ross said, David.
not falling for it, Mr. Ross. Sorry. You will
But then
not get away
the
with
the Livy all-weather pitches had 2 games called off in the last month. So
pitch is bad though. Like,
Yeah.
I feel a bit sorry for, because I don't doubt that loads of work's went into it, and it's not obviously paid off. Looks like we've maybe tried to clear it, like the snow that's been on it, or like we've had a tractor try to clear it on. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but
I think that we would
Bad.
usually have a lot more staff on it, and again, people are furloughed and people are not, there to kind of help. So it's limited numbers of people at the moment, which sucks.
should people be furloughed that are working on the pitch that we have to play on in order to finish higher in the league and that? No,
tad short-sighted, yeah.
definitely should
Potentially.
not.
So let's have a look. Some more questions here from Lewis Pearson saying, was McGuinness a panic buy? I mean, I know he's had injuries and he's kind of struggling to get in the team at the moment, but do you see him as a panic buy?
I thought his 17 seconds he came on for last night were absolutely fantastic. No, he's definitely an investment for the future. Yeah, it's a shame that he's not been able to hit the ground running for it, but no, there's certainly a player in there, and we will get money back from him. Give him a full pre-season, get himself up to fitness. He's going to be a key member of our team.
Next, Dave, your thoughts on McGuinness quickly?
I've not seen enough of him. Like, I think I can't say whether I think he's going to be good or not. I'm not going to hang my hat on whether he is. I think we bought him. Did we buy him when we lost it to McCrory? Like, I know they're a different type of player, but was it?
It was
similar?
just after that, but I think we're looking at him regardless. I don't think it was
I was
because
going to say, I
we
wonder
never got
how
him.
far down the list he was, because obviously we didn't get Ojo and then we signed Josh Vela, who obviously was a number 2 option, and look how that worked out. But
Look how Ojo worked it.
Still played more games for Aberdeen than Vela did for us. But yeah, I don't know if it's a panic option or no, but I would expect for the money we've paid for him he should be a starter when he's fit and all that.
Some comments here. Hybe09. Let's not forget Hearts aren't in this league. Celtic and Aberdeen have both been poor. We should be finishing third anyway. It's a good sort of point there. And a question here. How did you guys meet? That's from Douglas Russell 86. I can tell you how myself and Dave met. Dave used to be my boss. I used to work. I had a part-time job at Reebok, which then became Adidas, and Dave was assistant manager. Although I'm right in saying when you started, you were floor manager, whatever it was called, and Claire was manager, and Paul, the now manager, was assistant manager. So, but yeah, you're my boss. And then
Now you're my boss. podcast boss.
Aye. And Stuart was you were on a phone in Stuart, weren't you once?
Yeah, I was invited on one time to, I think it was go through one of the kind of post-derby games, and yeah, you've just not managed to get rid of me.
I thought he sounded like Ian Crocker, and I was like, get Ian Crocker back on. He does sound like him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Question here. This is one more question. I'm gonna have to turn my mic around because I'm realizing I'm having to speak at my mic quite a bit. But look at the screen. So we've got here question from Matt Fairney, of course, of Long Bangers. Keep the good work there. Who makes your ideal midfield in this current squad? So who's your ideal midfield if everyone's fitting up and running? I know we've spoken about it in the past, but what's your ideal midfield? Obviously, I think it depends on opposition. I think if we're playing a Celtic Rangers, it's Newell, Irvin and Gogic, and if we're playing Aberdeen, it's Newell, Irvin and Scott Allen in front of them.
Yeah, I'll go with that. You don't even need to ask me. I can agree.
Just steal my answer. Just copy my work.
Just
then make look like you're stealing my work.
Yeah, what do we do with McGuinness, who's a couple 100,000?
Play him out in the left, drop Murphy.
You have to remember Cadden as well. He's coming. Yeah,
I'd play Cadden right back. I'd play Doig left back, Porteous and Hanlon, Tony McGregor. They'll find their form again. I'd play Boyle on the right, McGuinness on the left, Allen behind Nisbet, and Irvin and Newell as the midfield two.
There you go.
There's my team.
Say that.
Stuart, what's your midfield D?
You know what? Far too many options. Yeah. I would be tempted if everybody's fit, raring to go. Murphy on the left, having Gogic, Irvin, Boyle on the right, 2 up front, and having the 4 at the back.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's have a look. Do you think we'll see any players coming in who are without clubs? Dave, do you see us going into the free agents market to sign a striker?
Wouldn't surprise me. I didn't know anything about any free agents that there'll probably be somebody for overseas or something, I would imagine then. But I've not got a clue. I think we probably should be in that market anyway, just to see if there is anything that comes up that's worth looking at. Short-term deal, see if it works. But I see why not.
Yeah, I think we don't want to find ourselves in a position where we've kind of, obviously worked out before this example. I'm going to give us a horrendous example, but we found ourselves when Oxley got injured being like, oh my god, we need to sign a goalkeeper, and we signed Conrad Logan, who was a free agent. Obviously that one worked out, but I don't think we need to find ourselves in a position if Nisbet and Doidge got injured, for example, and then we're playing Rangers, Murphy can't play, so you've only got Boyle as an attacking option. I think we need, and we don't want to have to then go into the free. So I think it's better to look now before other players get snapped up, because I think we are short. But yeah. Let's have a look. I can see Ice Wallow. I think it's that thing anyway. What? I'm not falling for that again. What could be our perfect midfield? We've kind of just covered that there. And did we actually get confirmation from Ross that Nisbet handed in a transfer request? I don't think that confirmation's came yet, but it should come, shouldn't it?
It certainly needs said.
Yeah. My problem is the longer it goes on that we've not heard, it makes me more likely to think that he did put in a transfer request. Otherwise, it's a quick, easy one for the club to rubbish. We say, look, we've no idea where this came from. He's happy to be here. Media making a nuisance of themselves because it's transfer deadline day and it was boring as shit.
Yeah. Always pretty boring. Question here from Andrew. Do you miss Hearts?
I missed the build-up to the Derby day.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't miss
Hearts. I miss the build-up. I just don't miss Derby day, because it's once you get to Derby day, maybe until like 12 o'clock, I'm alright. If it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, and then from 12 till 3, I feel sick.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck the Hearts. Like, lower league team, let's not talk about them.
Yeah. So thank you for all your sort of questions there. I don't see them anymore sort of coming in there. Sorry, apologies if I've missed any. I am going to get somebody to kind of keep on top of the questions going forward. I'll be honest, I was just looking for some question marks. So there probably is some questions there without question marks. So if you want questions, make sure you put a question mark so I can quickly look for it. But yeah, we'll wrap up there, guys. What have you got planned for the rest of the day?
Back to work, mate.
Back to work. Wow, what a life. I'm going to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Liam's just said he normally watches A Place in the Sun at this time, so I'll probably go and try and catch that on +1.
One question that didn't come in was, are Gav and Dave able to play Call of Duty? I'm sure you know who that's from.
Yeah, I'll play Call of Duty with Liam then. That's what I'll be doing.
There you go.
Right, cool. I'm going to edit this podcast together. I'm going to edit in the part of Monday's show talking about transfers. So if you did miss Monday's show, us kind of reacting to the transfers we've had, and also Nisbet and Porteous, that'll be edited in there as well to make it a bit of a bumper show. Obviously we're editing with all this. But yeah, thank you for everyone that sort of joined us on the live stream. Thank you to you guys for coming on.
Thanks very much for having me, mate.
Cheers for followed and that as well, by the way, because I've got a few people that subscribed as well with their primes and shit. So
yeah, I did reply to one of them. Thank you very much to Delboy4 for the subscription. Like I say, it doesn't cost you anything. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch to your Amazon Prime. What is it? gaming.amazon.com/prime, and you can do that. We're also on 94 followers, so follow us as well. This is out of date. I need to try and fix that. It says 81. We're actually on 94 followers on Twitch. So if you want to follow us and get us up to 100, that'd be great. And on YouTube as well, we're kind of getting the numbers up on there. So if you could subscribe on YouTube, it'll help you know when videos go live. And you can follow us on Twitter and social media at HFC Talk. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's joined us live. Thank you to everyone who's listening to the podcast, and we'll be back to look back to the Aberdeen game. And who did we say we had after that? We've just done a big thing about it. I can't remember.
Ross County, so no?
Yeah, Ross County away. We'll look forward to that game. Anyway, cheers guys.
So catch you there.
Thank you very much.
Bye.